Bird Psycho. Episode 1 of Heartbreak High Season 2 starts with Hartley High being on fire during the formal. In the background, Emery is narrating about being the hero of our own stories and meeting with a villain. Simultaneously, the students and teachers evaluate the building. Only after they get to safety does the principal, Miss Woodsy, realize that Hartley and Emery are nowhere to be seen. She repeatedly asks if anyone has seen them, but no one answers. The scene cuts to the first day of the new term 2 months earlier. We reunite with our girls, Emery and Harper. They are excited to return to school, and Emery has made it her mission to protect Harper. She even made their own pepper spray. At school, they meet up with Quinny and Darren. We've got to admit, we are excited to have the gang back, too. Everyone is back apart from Dusty and Cash. Apparently, Dusty transferred school, and Cash is in prison, awaiting trial regarding what happened to Harper. Unfortunately, Spider and some other students blame Harper for what happened. He confronts her as soon as he spots her, and Emery uses her pepper spray on him. It is ineffective, so she pushes him, and he falls, ruining Zoe's project. Just like that, the girls find themselves in the principal's office on the first day. Woodsy advises them to find a different solution other than violence. She suggests they try singing as if they are in a musical to calm them down and gives Emery detention. She asks to speak privately to Harper and offers to help her since she is in the emancipation process. Harper asks her not to treat her differently and is pissed that Woodsy talked to the other teachers about her situation. On the other hand, we have a new hottie in school, Rowan. Although his fashion choices are questionable, he comes across as a nice guy. Unfortunately, the students start teasing him after learning he comes from a rural area. As for Sasha, she is actively campaigning to be the next school captain. We also have a new teacher this season. Voss, the gym teacher, is no stranger to Hartley High. Not only is he an alumnus, he used to teach there before. Rumor has it that he joined a Russian cult, while others say he left to open an OnlyFans account. As per school tradition, the students take pictures on their first day of the term. They are about to take a school photo when someone announces that Ant is threatening to cut his penis off outside the class. You see, earlier in the day, Ant took a lot of weed gummies, and he started hallucinating and blaming his genitalia for his girl problems. He then had the bad idea of cutting off his genitalia as a solution. Thankfully, Voss saves the day by tackling him before he cuts it off with scissors while the students chant, "Cut it off." Following this dramatic event, Woodsy, JoJo, and Voss bring Ant to the infirmary. JoJo tries to talk to Ant about how to process his feelings like they learned in SLTS, but Voss interrupts. According to him, SLTS is emasculating the male students. He starts belting out a song, and JoJo is surprised when Woodsy joins him. Voss says he has a better idea than SLTS, and Woodsy is open to hearing it out. Elsewhere, Darren gets a call from Cash, who is in prison. Their relationship is going well even in these circumstances. Darren is excited that they will finally be able to visit Cash in prison, too. They update their boyfriend about the first day of school, and they joke about the other students. Later, Woodsy teams Malachi with Rowan to help him adjust to the school. She advises Rowan to have a thick skin because students at Hartley are brutal. Speaking of Malachi, he still has feelings for Emery, who has been avoiding him all morning. However, later in the day, he corners her. Emery says she is focusing on protecting Harper and can't be in a relationship. Nonetheless, she is still attracted to Malachi, and they end up having sex. However, Emery insists that they can't be together. During the SLTS class, Spider loses his patience when JoJo asks the students to paint their feelings. He leads a boycott against the class and walks out. Of course, some students follow him out. Meanwhile, Harper starts to panic after someone steals her bag. She finds it later in the field, but someone placed a dead bird on it. Harper is convinced that Chuck is after her. She is also stressed out about finally signing the emancipation papers. She worries she will have no one, and Amory promises to stick by her side. Assured of this, Harper signs the papers. Later that night, the students head to a party celebrating the first day of school. At the party, Malachi and Rowan get closer. Quinny becomes obsessed with finding the person who put the dead bird on Harper's bag. They have nicknamed the person Bird Psycho. Amory is sure that Spider is the culprit, but Ant reveals that it is impossible since Spider has ornithophobia. This turns out to be true, and Spider is ruled out. In the meantime, Harper has an honest conversation with Ant and advises him to be less of a pervert. Darren also has a nasty encounter with Sasha, who believes their relationship with Cash is harmful. Fortunately, Harper comes to their defense and clarifies she doesn't blame Cash for what happened to her. She tells Darren that Cash helped and promises to say the same at the trial. However, it seems Sasha's words deeply affected Darren. At the end of the night, Harper and Amory return home and find a dead bird on the doorstep. Harper is more shaken and believes Chuck is angry they set fire to his car. The following morning, Amory, Quinny, and Darren head to Chuck's place and wait for him to leave before sneaking inside. They hope to find evidence that he is Bird Psycho, but they are caught. Chuck is adamant he is not looking for revenge, as he has to lay low. He denies being Bird Psycho, saying it will only cause him more legal problems. He asks them to leave, but has Darren hang back. Chuck gets into Darren's head by talking about how he knows Cash better. According to Chuck, Cash was deeply involved with what happened to Harper. The doubts begin to settle in Darren's mind. Amory returns to school and informs Harper that Chuck is not Bird Psycho. Harper is glad but asks Amory to stop protecting her. She advises Amory to turn that energy towards something else. Back at school, Voss gets Woodsy to agree to a new class. He ropes Spider and his friends into a club. Voss argues that the class will help the boys become men, and JoJo thinks it is a terrible idea. We don't blame her. The club's name is troubling enough. The club is called Come Lords. Voss approaches Spider and inspires him to be a leader. This leads Spider to throw his hat into school politics and run against Sasha for school captain. Amory also chooses to run for the role, hoping to change her classmates' perception of her. She promises to make it up to them if they elect her. She also asks Malachi out after getting Harper's blessing. The episode ends with Bird Psycho messaging Amory. It turns out she was the target all along, and he is coming for her campaign. The episode review. Heartbreak High Season 2 picks up where we left off, and it is great to see our favorite characters. This season, the central mystery will be Bird Psycho and their motivation to come for Amory. The show maintains its sense of humor and perfectly brings taboo subjects to the front in a relatable way. This season, Harper and Amory start on a positive note. Amory is becoming a better friend, and we love that they are in a better place. Even though Harper has a lot on her plate, she has good friends who will be there for her. We will witness these characters' developments and healing journeys this season. While we like Malachi, we want to see if he will mess up after getting a second chance. We also look forward to seeing if Cash and Darren survive these challenging times. Lastly, the addition of Rowan and Voss was a great decision. Voss is shaking things up, and even though we might not like his views, he is fascinating to watch. We know he has great plans for the Come Lords Club and will push JoJo's last nerves. As for Rowan, he might be the blue-eyed storm that threatens to tear up Malachi and Amory. Did you also notice the tension between him and Malachi?